have some fun with the Liquify tool. And the Liquify tool actually affects everything on a person's face. So we can alter eyes, nose, mouth, basically any facial features, and even the size and the shape of the face itself. So there's a lot of applications for this, and it's probably part of the reason that we feel so bad about ourselves, and you'll see what I mean once we get going here. But what I like to do before I actually use the Liquify tool is I like to duplicate my image. So I've just gone ahead and opened an image into Photoshop, and then I'm going to duplicate this layer by either right-clicking on it and selecting Duplicate Layer, or I can just hit Command J as well, and that will duplicate that layer. Now, while I have this layer selected, I'm going to go up to Filter and select Liquify. Now, this will take me into another menu here. Usually, when you have a person's face that's very clearly visible, the Liquify tool will already pick up all of the facial features and be able to basically discern the eyes from the nose and the mouth and so on and so forth. You can also see over here to the left, there's a variety of different tools within the Liquify filter. Today we are really working on altering the face, but you can go through and do some, like here's a smudge tool where you can even kind of smudge and do some other alterations as well. If you are wanting to focus on the face, you can do it in a couple of different ways. If you look here on the right, you can see Face Aware Liquify is an option that has all of these different features in it. So we have eyes, nose, mouth, face shape, and within each of those options you can see forehead, chin height, jawline, face width, etc. You can also go down on the left hand side here and choose this, it looks like a little kind of head and shoulders image. If you click on that, then you can also see the same options on the image that you have here. And you'll see that your cursor will change as you hover over these different spots. And that will allow you to also go in and expand or decrease, scale up or scale down things like eyes and noses and mouths. So now if I've done this over here on this left eye or right eye, depending on how you're looking at it, you can see over here where it says eye size, that has now gone up to 100. So now if I go over to the sliding scale, I can also use that to change the eye size. So I can make those really big or just a little bit bigger here. And if you use this menu over here, it's kind of nice because you can get the exact same measurements. So, or at least the exact same, I guess, percentage of increase of each of those features. So here we have the left eye and the right eye both being increased by or to 54. And then with the eye height, if we go in here, that would be the top little option here, and we can expand that up. His eyes are getting gigantic. We're just playing around, so these may not look very realistic, but that's okay. Eye width, we can make those really big. And so you can see there's a lot of different ways that you can really dramatically alter a person's face. Her right eye right now is for some reason looking gigantic, so I'm going to take it. I mean, they're both looking huge, but that one's looking a little bit bigger than the left one. You can even tilt the eyes, so if you want to kind of twist it a little bit from one direction to the other. And then of course you can take them apart or squeeze them closer together. We could, I mean, this almost looks like she's crossing her eyes now. We have them squeezed so closely together, or kind of hammerhead shark if they're too far apart. So you can see we can kind of drastically alter the way that her eyes looked. With the nose, we can affect the height, the width, just by using our sliding scale here. One of my favorite things in the Face Aware Liquify is making somebody smile. So right now she doesn't really have an expression. She's not frowning, but she's not smiling. If we want her to smile, we'll just take the smile slider up, and you can see that's really fun. And it's just a fun way to, you know, if somebody was maybe at a party and they were a little grumpy, but you wanted to make it look like they were having a good time, you can just slide that smile slider up and suddenly they are smiling. So maybe not the best recommendation, but it's fun to know that that's there. So you can see we can make a lot of adjustments here. So the next time you're looking at a magazine and you're feeling kind of bad about yourself, just remember that all of these different things can be changed through this face-aware Liquify, and you can see it's very easy to do that as well. So she's starting to look kind of like an anime character because she's got those really big eyes. Yeah. So now if we hit OK, this is kind of a really crazy, dramatic change that we've created. And if you turn the visibility off between this first image, this top layer, and the bottom, you can see the difference between those two. I think the top one looks ridiculous because her eyes are too big, and just the features look like they're just kind of way too dramatic. But a lot of times people will make really dramatic alterations like this because they just like that stylized look. And again, this can be a tool that can be used for good and evil. So make sure you're just aware that usually people don't need retouching because we should be pretty happy with the way that we look anyway. She's a beautiful person like this, but it is good to know that the Liquify filter is there just to play around with and to have some fun with. So have fun creating with the Liquify filter.